Okay, I've read a number of news articles, like the pilot of the ship in Baltimore.
Mhm.
At a crucial moment,
Hmm.
he goes into slumber and hits the pier of the bridge. Okay. Similarly, it happened in the airline also, and they only wake up when they get a shock that they have dropped um, way way down in the height.
Hmm. Hmm.
Apart from that, what happens is sometimes your mind goes to total sleep.
The build-up of the books, there was one part where it all starts, kind of, the reckoning happens. How do you think about it, and why this monk, was brought into the narrative? It was the most fascinating part for me in the book, where, this meeting with the monk happens.
When you pick up a pen and if you start writing,
Yeah.
your brain tells you what to write. And after that, you read it and you find out that you have done if you are satisfying or no.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
idea is to utilize the time
Yeah.
properly
Yeah.
and do something in the day so you're
Yeah.
happy by the evening that you are satisfied that you have
Right.
done this particular thing.
Where you have talked about so many things. I mean, from the point of meditation and, consciousness, and how to achieve sort of, that state where which you call it in meditation, like enlightenment of sorts. Do you, do you think deeply about it yourself? Do you do research about it, or you talk to some kind of some meditation experts who practice it, perhaps? Uh, Before putting it kind of, in the narrative? Hello, book nerds. Welcome to the Booknerds Podcast. This is the first podcast of 2026, and things couldn't have kicked off on a better note. The book I read recently, it's very enigmatic, and I was totally taken aback by what I was reading. It doesn't really fit into the traditional sense of what's publishing right now in the industry. It is sort of written in a way which is very organic, like something comes to you and you just write it, that sort of narrative. But it talks about something which is very strange, because we're talking about deep sleep here, and the concept of deep sleep. What happens when we are in deep slumber? And in the book, the doctors are not able to explain what's happening to this particular person, the protagonist. He suddenly falls into sleep, and there are elements of spirituality. The protagonist meets a monk, and then everything starts happening, but the ball gets rolling. So yeah, it was very interesting reading the book, because if you're passionate about medical science, Vedic concepts in especially when it comes to stories from Hinduism and our spiritual history as well, so you'll be fascinated by this narrative. We are talking about some really sort of esoteric concepts. So yeah, I would encourage you to read this book to understand our being, our mind, our what's really real. So yeah, I'm particularly fascinated by how sleep works and how spirituality weaves into our entire existence. So yeah, I would encourage you to read this book. It's called Awake in the Beyond. And it's written by Vijay Anand. I got the opportunity to talk to the author himself, and he explained many things to me. But I would say that reading the book, there's no replacement to that. So read the book and let me know in the comments whether you liked it or not. The narrative was quite different. So yeah, I was surprised by the entire concept. Yeah, looking forward to the entire year. Lots of great episodes coming up. So stay tuned to this channel, subscribe it, so that every time we drop a new episode. Some really awesome episodes coming up in Jan and February and March. So yeah, Q1 looks sorted. Thank you so much for always supporting us. Happy reading. And yeah, do go watch the episode. Hello, guys. Welcome to the Booknerds Podcast. I've already introduced the book
in the video earlier. So go watch that if you have skipped to the main podcast. But I've been having a gala time. It's the end of the year. It's the time of kind of introspection. And this book, it's called Awake in the Beyond, and it's
Yeah,
by Vijay Anand.
yeah.
And
I was young.
yeah,
I was at around 45, 46.
yes, yes, you look like that. Nice sunshades going around and nice book cover. And
This is
I got a sense
uh,
that, yeah.
this this look attracted people. Okay,
Awesome.
wherever I
Awesome.
went,
Love that. Love that. Great. So
I didn't have
I
to
read the
try
book.
anything. Okay,
Yes, 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 absolutely. I read the book and some really interesting elements. I was kind of, introspective because I've always been curious about sleep and what deep sleep is. Being near the Himalayas, we are always curious about consciousness and how, about meditation and all of those things. And this book touches all those themes, and that's why it made it very interesting to navigate. We don't encounter such narratives in fiction usually. So it was a new thing for me. But sir, first of all, I would love to know, and I asked you earlier also before the podcast that what are the elements that are memoirish, and what are the elements that are totally fiction in this book? Because if it is completely real, then it makes it even more interesting. But tell me something about that, please.
you see, basically, I'll tell you one thing that I uh, I lived my life in school in a small town in UP, and uh, I cleared my high school in Hindi medium at the age of 13. So then I was sent away to Bombay to do architecture. Okay, so 2 years I was underage for the admission, so I had to be 16 to get admitted. So I did fine arts for 2 years and then completed my architecture. And the story started, and I learned my English. In my college, no one taught me English, okay? And my brother, who was a professor in a university, one day he told me that you have lived a um, mm, very fabulous life. One day you should sit down and pen it. So this is my second book, okay?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
The first book was Unexpected Travel
Unexpected journey.
and The Tale of Love and Relocation.
Okay.
So that was my first book.
Yeah.
And the third book I have already started.
Okay. And I was really particularly interested because the concept of, which you have introduced in the book, that the protagonist Viren goes into deep slumber, and it's so fascinating. And you, of course, you have created a narrative that, doctors from across the globe and researchers and even spiritualists, religious people got involved because it was so fascinating that someone could go into that deep slumber. And we'll talk about the spiritual aspect of it, of course, later. But was this a fictional idea, or did it happen to someone or you? What's it all about? What's happening?
Okay, I've read a number of news articles, like the pilot of the ship in Baltimore. At a crucial moment, he goes into slumber and hits the pier of the bridge. Okay. Similarly, it happened in the airline also. And they only wake up when they get a shock that they have dropped um, way, way down in the height. Apart from that, what happens is sometimes your mind goes to total sleep. Okay. Now the saints used to pray. That was kind of a slumber. They were they were connecting with the God, and to survive, they remain healthy. That to survive, they used to roll their tongue to take 2 drops of nectar from the brain. So that didn't need anything. And that's why the doctors were foxed. How come he is alive and healthy after all the tests? So
That
that was the idea behind it.
Yeah. In fact, I was forced to kind of, go into research mode for that because I started reading up on this, whether, this happens often or not. And
Mm.
I also encountered a couple of articles. One was from BBC, and they were talking about how, deep slumber can be used, in fact, for space travel also, because it
Yeah.
saves on a lot of resources, right? So it's an interesting concept. But what about building the narrative around it? Because to tell a concept, a narrative, you need to kind of build a story around it so
Mm.
that it's engaging for the readers. And how did you manage to kind of do that? Because it's not easy kind of communicating that.
I've had a couple of trips in the hospital
Okay.
for some dear one who was not well. So I got to know the heart center, I got to know the ICU, and I knew the doctors. And sometimes they will give wrong medicine and make a mess out of the patient. And the MRI, when the scanning is being done, so this guy, he rolls his tongue back, and that's the time they realize okay, how he's alive. So they contact the Hindu scholar in Banaras. So he explains them everything. You see, normally what happens is your mind goes to sleep when you're discussing, and then you don't hear anything as to what someone has said.
Yeah.
You totally you're out of this world then at that
Like
moment.
zone out, what they call as zone out,
Yeah,
which is again, maybe the first stage of kind of going into that kind of slumber, right? It's so fascinating.
yeah.
But
That I described about the wedding which I attended
yes, yeah.
between a
Yes.
Hindu girl and a Muslim.
Yes, yes, yes.
There are no rituals except to uh, woo each other.
Yeah.
And that was another part of it.
Hmm.
And now in the life, you see what happens after a couple of years of marriage or number of years of marriage.
Yeah.
You need someone else to talk to,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
Absolutely. Yeah.
to make the balance, okay.
Yeah.
So that story came from there when
Yeah.
I find Archana,
Yeah.
okay. So that was, she became a mate of mine
Yeah.
and she became friendly with my wife also. This
Yeah.
is fiction, okay.
I was hoping that it is fiction because I was worried because my wife will also read the book and she is going to get some ideas out of it, and I was worried. Chalo,
Then,
that's why I asked the question how much of it is fiction, because I was
yeah,
worried about that part, because because the protagonist was having a lot of fun also
yeah.
on the side.
Then I brought in a little humor in this. When when the hero learns hacking and he goes all the way to Bangalore to learn hacking. And then the best part was the his master wanted 20 lakhs loan from him, which he'll return. And then when the hero knows how to hack, so he hacked his account
Hmm.
and brought the
Yes.
money back and gave it to him.
That was very interesting. That was a funny part, because where should one test out someone's hacking skills, new hacking skills? I-
Yeah,
if you try anywhere else, you will be caught, or you
yeah.
might be incarcerated. So that was trying it on the teacher itself was a kind of very funny part of the book. But yeah, uh, I kind of the build-up of the books, there was one part where it all starts, kind of the reckoning happens. uh Viren, who is the protagonist, meets a monk who kind of indicates what's going to happen. It's a reckoning of sorts. uh how do you think about it, and why this monk was brought into the narrative? It was the most fascinating part for me in the book, where this meeting with the monk happens.
Now the companionship starts with the hero, his wife, and Archana. Okay,
Yeah.
now they all love each other, and then eventually when this guy eventually dies because of the sulfur medicine, which is he's highly allergic to it, and he passes off. And then, as his body is not cremated, his soul lives in this world for another 1 year, according to the Hindu scripture. So before 1 year, now everyone is grieving, so he keeps on telling them, "Don't grieve, I'm there." And he attends the work also. He his soul comes to the office every
Yeah.
night and attends all the work and gives instructions and vanish.
Yes. Yes. That was the supernatural sort of part of the book. But my most interesting part was about the monk that the protagonist meets.
I did go to a monastery, and they were
Yeah.
all the guys were chanting there. So I sat
Hmm.
there quietly, and
Hmm.
uh, the priest he called me specially to his chamber, and
Hmm.
he spoke to me, which
Hmm.
after I left the place I forgot about it.
Okay.
He said, "You give so positive vibes to everyone.
Hmm.
Everyone smiles at you.
Hmm.
Even a child in the aircraft
Hmm.
jumped into my lap." Okay,
Hmm.
you remember that?
Of course, that
So
was
they were,
quite cute. That was quite cute, but I was worried about the parent whose child was, kind of jumping into the protagonist's lap. That was interesting. That
so
doesn't happen.
that is 100% facts.
Oh, awesome.
This
Awesome.
happened
Wow.
when I was going to Bombay, and there was this little girl. She keep pulling my, and then she jumped onto me,
Oh,
and I
wow.
took her in my lap, and she played with
Yeah.
my fingers,
Yeah.
and then she
Wonderful.
slept. You
Wonderful.
see, there are two things which I've realized in life.
Mhm.
One is a dog, puppy,
Yeah.
and one is a little child
Yeah.
who get vibes from the particular person,
Yes.
and they jump onto that.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. But
So
yeah, do you think about where you have talked about so many things. I mean, from the point of meditation and consciousness, and how to achieve sort of that state where which you call it in meditation like enlightenment of
yeah,
sorts. Do you, do you think deeply about it yourself? Do you do research about it, or you talk to some kind of some meditation experts who practice it, perhaps? Before putting it kind of in the narrative.
this I used to read quite a bit about it.
Okay. Okay.
I used to read quite a bit about the spirituality and
Okay.
self-love
Okay. Okay.
and the confidence within you.
Yeah.
Never to, and no one should be able to judge you if you are confident.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Great. So what about when one writes, one comes from a place of sort of some sort of inspiration, or sometimes some sort of writing style which appeals to you. Uh,
Inspiration.
yeah.
Inspiration is the,
Any influences that you have, writing influences that you might have?
you see, when you pick up a pen and if you start writing,
Yeah.
your brain tells you what to write.
Mm.
And after that, you read it and you find out that you have done if you are satisfying or no.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
idea is to utilize the time
Yeah.
properly
Yeah.
and do something in the day so
Yeah.
you're happy by the evening that you're satisfied that you have
Right.
done this particular thing.
Right. Yeah. So after
That's the
writing,
idea.
yeah. After starting sort of, the writing side of you, have you evolved as a person also? Do you see any changes within you as well?
No, I remain the same
Okay. That's a great writer then, because if you
because
don't change, yeah,
I, I'm true to myself. That's all.
awesome. That's great. What about the first book, sir? I don't know much about it. What was it about? Was it a similar kind of
What is
genre?
the first book is when this young lad at 13 years age lands
Mhm.
in Bombay all by
Okay.
himself,
Okay.
and he doesn't cry He's
Hmm.
not sad. He comes over his mind and
Hmm.
say he's to struggle in life
Hmm. Hmm.
to get going.
Hmm. Hmm.
And he fights his way
Hmm.
and he becomes a very rich man one day.
Okay. Okay.
So he starts his life practicing, and he also realizes how the girls are chasing him left, right, center.
I think there is an excerpt like in many parts of this one also in this book. There, the protagonist is getting flogged by many women, and that's quite apparent. So I was really had fun with it, had fun reading with it. Um, and what about the next one, sir? The next one that you are writing, what's it about? Is it on a similar note, or
Which,
uh,
which
is
one? The third book?
the third one?
Third
Yes.
book is about a rich couple
Okay.
after 4 years of marriage.
Okay.
Uh, they decide to have a kid, but when the wife is around 4.5 months, there's a miscarriage. And then they go to the then the husband is very worried and she is also. So they decide to go to Kumbh Mela for the holy dip, and the book is sweet because these days there are sweets in the. And then they find one little girl who's been abandoned by his father, her father, because he already has two girls, and he's a priest. So he reads about her birth chart and thinks and find out that she's going to be very famous in life. So she says that if he remains with me, she would not achieve anything. So he abandons the child in Kumbh Mela and doesn't file missing report. So this couple happens to take the girl, find the girl, and the girl follows them. They give her, they make her eat something, and as it is winter, they wrap a shawl around. The wife wraps a shawl around it, and then they go away. And but the face of the little child remains in a woman's mind. Okay,
Okay.
she can't take it over,
Hmm.
and then there's a thunder outside
Hmm.
because it's winter rain.
Okay.
So she's worried about him and she opens the door and
Hmm.
finds the little girl sitting there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wonderful.
And she's already lactating or whatever you call it.
Okay.
The little girl, after she's been given a bath and everything,
Hmm.
is sleeping next to her and starts feeding herself.
Okay. Okay.
So the motherly instinct
Hmm. Hmm.
comes into her mind. So she decides, okay, I'm not going to leave the child under any circumstances.
Okay. Okay.
And then they adopt the girl.
Okay. Okay.
And then the story starts.
Okay. Great.
How do you like it?
Yeah, it sounds like a premise. Anything to do with Kumbh Mela is interesting, and not many people kind of build a narrative around it. It's difficult to do so, but let's see what happens with the book.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I'm researching on some adopted girl who becomes very famous in the
Okay.
world.
Okay.
For
Okay.
that I'm researching.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Another question for which cropped up in my head was that you have talked about science, spirituality, religion, all in the same way, like in the same book. What is your opinion on the sort of on this Venn diagram, so as to say, of spirituality, religion?
I love the book.
No, no. मेरा मतलब ये था कि spirituality और religion के बारे में what do you feel about?
I love it. And
Yeah.
I love the part when there are three nurses
Oh, yes, yes,
looking after him.
yes,
And
yes.
they're all praying that he should get up
Yep, yep.
because there's nothing wrong with him.
Yes,
So
yes,
they're all praying in their own way.
yes. That was
And
quite secular.
yeah,
That was quite secular,
yeah,
I must say, because everybody is praying in a different sort of in different religion, right? So
correct. Yeah.
it was very interesting. Cool. Okay. Uh, One other thing
And
was
then
yeah.
and when then one doctor uh, who thinks he'll become famous if he finds out, okay, what is a slumber. So
Yes.
he tries to kill him.
Oh, that was quite something. Although I think he got away with it, kind of,
He
because
got
he
away
was.
because
Yeah.
yeah, the hospital didn't want to lose their name.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm sure things like these happened, but yeah, that was an interesting part. Uh,
Mm.
uh, what about beta readers? What do you think about them? Like people who read the book initially when it is written. Do you go to these beta readers to get some feedback after
Yeah,
writing the book?
I've got the feedback. I've already forwarded it to Neha
Okay, okay,
for the
okay,
people. That is unpaid review,
okay, okay. Wonderful.
and they are fascinated by the book.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And especially when the child is born
Yeah,
and smiles at the nurse.
yeah.
The nurse say, "You scoundrel, you're flirting with me."
Yes. Yeah. So,
And then when they come in
yeah,
the arms of the mother, on the um, grandmother,
yeah.
his grandmother,
Mm.
and both of them look at him and they said, "Okay, this guy's come back to us."
Yes, yes, yes. But I try not to give spoilers. You are giving a lot of spoilers in the podcast. Don't give too many spoilers because otherwise people will not read the book. They will know what will happen later on. But nonetheless, the dynamics between the husband and the wife were very interesting. A lot of
Okay.
fun was happening, and they are very cool with each other. And even later on, when there's another woman in the relationship, there's a lot of it was quite contemporary in its treatment. I was shocked a little bit, but but why, how, I had many questions. So tell us more about that relationship, that triangle that's happening.
Another thing is, I was fed up of watching web series and the movies,
Yeah,
loud music,
yeah.
sex,
Uh-huh.
crime. So I
Mm.
didn't want to add anything like that in this.
Right, right. Absolutely. It's quite minimal. Even if it is, there is a romantic relationship, it's very
Mm.
minimal. It's like three, four lines, whatever, and that's it. One or two pages, and that's it. It doesn't go deep into all of that. And
Yeah.
that's why I liked it. And even it settles down, the relationship settles down to a very platonic sort of somewhat platonic.
Mm.
Yeah.
On the cover,
Mm. Yeah.
my photograph, and the back cover is my painting also.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I paint also.
Oh, wonderful. No, I figured because when
I
I read.
cook also. I
Yeah.
cook also. You come, I give you a nice
Oh,
biryani.
wonderful. Oh, wonderful. I read in the book that,
Mhm.
it's almost memoir like, and you have written that there is the protagonist also has a hobby of painting and all. So I figured, great, sir. Thank you so much for talking to me. And it was very interesting. I had fun with it. Uh, there were some parts which I thought that it could have been better. I wanted to explore more about the deep slumber also. I'm very curious. I would love to know more about it. Which I was like a bit distracted because of the relationship that was happening. I wanted to know more about the what was happening on that front. Just because maybe I'm from a engineering background and technical background. I wanted to know more into all of that. But I understand that all these elements are also necessary for a book. There should be
Correct.
fun as well. Otherwise, it becomes non-fiction, right? So
Next book, I'll come to Dehradun. You read it and you tell me where to improve.
absolutely. No, I'll come to you, sir. I'll come to you. I won't
All right. Thank you
trouble
very much.
you. And yes, I wanted to tell the readers that the book is available on Amazon,
And Kindle also.
Kindle also. So you can buy the book and give the author feedback on the Amazon page, in the YouTube comments also, where this podcast will be, eventually uploaded. And yeah, thank you so much. And we'll see you in the next episode.
One more thing I want to add.
Yes, sir.
In that party, when an unknown girl comes and hugs me,
Oh
she
my God.
went into slumber.
Yes. I went into slumber actually. When she was coming and hugging him again and again, I was going into slumber. I was so scared for it.
That's a fact. That happens often.
Oh my God. That was so scary. I am so scared of my wife. I'm so scared of my wife. I was petrified. I was petrified, to be honest.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast.